Hello everyone, welcome to this lecture. So now we are going to discuss about the onboarding process of SCCAN, that is your service connection. So basically, service connections are there to onboard your data centers. You know how your remote networks, your mobile users can connect to your data center internal applications. So for that we use service connections. So before onboarding service connection, let's have a LLD discussion. You know how we are going to configure our infrastructure subnet and what configuration will be required. So in our Prisma Access Cloud, we will be defining the infrastructure subnet as 172.20.20.0/24. Okay, and you will be having SCCAN node here. You will be having RNSPN when you will do the onboarding, and similarly you will be having your MUSPN when you do the onboarding, right? So we will be building the IPsec tunnel from this SCCAN node towards our on-premise firewall, Palo Alto firewall, right? And we have our web servers behind this. Okay. So this is our data center location. We are calling it Site A. So LAN subnet is 10.1.1.0/24. Okay, this is my LAN subnet. This is Site A headquarters, or you can say data center. Similarly, we will build the IPsec tunnel from RNSPN with our site B, that is our remote network, right? Remote network, and we are going to call it site B. Okay, so we have another firewall here. So we will be building it, and we will have the LAN users here, and subnet could be anything. Okay. Similarly, we will onboard our mobile users, right, with the help of the Global Protect agent, and they will be able to access internet, internal applications, right, securely. So the traffic flow is going to be like this. If this user would like to access the internal web server, it will go like this. And if this user would like to access any internet-based or SaaS-based application, it will go like this. And it will be inspected by the Prisma Access Cloud. So basically this node here will do the inspection. SCCAN doesn't do any inspection, because we make sure that these devices in your data center are doing the inspection. So there is no reason of doing double inspection. Okay, it will slow down the traffic performance. Similarly, mobile users can access the internal resources like this. Okay, and if they want to go to internet, they will go like this. So this is going to be our overall LLD. So now let's go back to the portal here. So you need to go to workflows, Prisma Access Setup. First you need to define your infrastructure subnet. I've already defined it, 172.20.20/24. If you have not defined it, then you can simply go to settings and you can define it here. Okay, and if you are using IPv6 for your internal traffic, you can enable this setting as well. And for your ZTNA connectors, right, if you are using ZTNA connectors for application access, you can add your ZTNA connectors. This is the new thing which Palo Alto has introduced in Prisma 4.0. It is similar to app connectors in Zscaler. Okay. So once it is done, you can click on save. So you will be able to see that your infrastructure subnet is there. Okay. And you can also add your internal DNS servers, if any. Now just go to service connection tab here, click on add service connection, give it a name HQSC. From preferred region, select your compute region. Mine is India North. Set up your primary tunnel. So we'll create new, give it a name HQSC primary. Your branch device, in our case it is Palo Alto Networks, so I will be using that. Pre-shared key you can define. Then local identification, email address scan at abc.local. So we basically use FQDN based authentications whenever your peers are behind NAT devices. Okay. And peer identification site A at abc.local. Okay. And branch device static IP 192.168.8.2. Let me verify that. So just go to network interfaces and 8.2. Yeah. So tunnel monitoring we are not going to on. Passive mode we are not going to on. Proxy IDs will remain by default zeros because all Palo Alto firewalls are route-based VPN firewalls. And you can go to IKE advanced settings. You can see we are using V1 only mode and Palo Alto Networks crypto profile as per Prisma, right? So we need to make the settings accordingly in our Palo Alto firewall. And this is IPsec crypto. So you can, select these different crypto profiles which are already there, right? So let's go back, save. So it's done. Okay, so you can configure your secondary tunnel as well, right? With a different device. Uh, Setup, create new, HQ, SC, secondary. So just in case primary node goes down, you have the backup tunnel available. Uh, Palo Alto Networks, pre-shared, local identification, peer identification, okay, and static IP. So we have only one device, so we will be using this, and rest of the things will remain same. Click save. Done. So these two we have created. Then you can define the routing. You can define static route. You can define BGP, right? So in our case, we will be using static route because only one subnet is there, right? So if you have BGP running in your data center, then you can build the neighborship. Okay, BGP is not enabled. Quality of service, if you want to do it, you can do it. Now click save. So once you do this, you need to push the configuration. You need to select your target as service connection. It will be by default selected. And this onboarding will take at least 30 minutes. You will get the tunnel status here, your config, whether it is in sync or not, your service IP. Once you get the service IP, then you need to do the configuration on your another device so that you can build your tunnel. Okay. So I'll do the push from here and then we'll wait for 30 minutes and we'll resume the video again. So when you click on push, you get this window just like your Palo Alto only, like your Palo Alto web UI. So here you can enter description, onboarding, SCCAN, right? And here you can see my target is already selected to service connections. Okay, so these are the things which we have inside Prisma Access. Global Protect explicit for mobile user and remote networks for remote networks and service connection for data centers. I'll click on push and it will trigger the job. Okay, so it will trigger the job ID. You can see this has been triggered. So let's wait for this. It will be done. It will take at least 30 minutes, and after that you will be able to see static IP here, right? And with the help of that particular service IP, we will be doing our configuration. So meanwhile that thing will appear here. Let's do the basic configuration on this firewall just to save the time. So go to tunnel, create the new interface. So 21 we will be using for Prisma service connection, virtual router, default, security zone, Prisma service connection. I have already created this, right? IPs are not required, right? So click OK. Now just go back to your iCrypto. So here just click on add Prisma iCrypto DH group 2 authentications 256 3 days and 128 lifetime, and this is good. Similarly IPsec crypto, so click on add Prisma SC IPsec crypto protocol ESP encryption is going to 3 days and AES authentication 256 DH group 2 lifetime 1 hour. It's good. So these are the settings which are already defined in the Prisma Cloud. You can also verify it, okay, over Prisma Cloud only, right? So basically when you click here, when you click on edit, so you see IPsec, click on manage and select your tunnel, and from here when you go to IK Advance, you can click on manage on your crypto profile and you can see this profile, and you will see all these details here. Similarly you can see for IPsec. Okay, so this is how we do. So just make sure that you get all the necessary information before building your tunnels. Okay, so cancel because our push is already in place. So we have got the service IP. We will use this IP. Okay, so this is done. Now let's go to iGateway. Click on add. Give it a name Prisma SC Gateway. So IK V1 only, V4 interface 1 by 1, local IP 8.2, peer IP address. So this is the IP which we need to type. 165.85.169.41. So let's verify. Okay. Pre-shared key. Local identification is going to be email address, peer identification email address. So local was site A, abc.local, and that was ccan at abc.local. Okay. Advanced options, NAT traversal is on. Crypto profile is going to be this one. Okay. Similarly, go to IPsec now. Click on add Prisma SC IPsec tunnel interface 21 iGateway Prisma SC iGateway crypto profile Prisma crypto. In advanced option, make sure this replay protection is on. Tunnel monitoring we have not configured it. Proxy ID will remain all zeros. By default, Palo Alto use zeros as a route-based VPN firewall. Okay, and everything is done. So let's do the commit. So here if you see, It is coming up. So it will take time, approximately 30 minutes. So we need to wait till that time. And on our firewall, change is done almost, right? So you'll get the BGP router IP here, which will become the gateway. And you'll see the tunnel status, config status. It takes time. On our firewall, it is done. So if I will go to IPsec, right now it is showing all down. So we can just use the test VPN command to bounce it. So let's initiate the phase one gateway, and our gateway name is Prisma this. So I've initiated it. Let's go back to, let's refresh. So it is not coming up. Monitor, system logs, and here you can see negotiation started, but we have not heard back. Okay. So if you have not heard back, it means this node is not ready yet. So we need to wait for it. So let's wait for this. Okay. It will time out after some time. Okay, guys. So our config is in sync. We need to make certain changes. Actually, earlier I've configured the primary and secondary tunnels all together, but that config push got failed. As you can see here, it got failed. So I need to remove that particular config, and then I have onboarded the SCCAN again. Now this time I have removed the secondary configuration. I have just put the primary configuration, and you can see this is the status right now. Tunnel is showing error because we need to bounce the phase one from our branch device, and rest of the things you can see we have got the service IP, eBGP router IP, right? And everything is done. So this status right here, it is still showing, now it is showing okay, right? So we are good to bounce the tunnel, right? So let's see if our tunnel comes up. So I'll go to CLI and I'll start the test command. I'll go to logs. So you can see phase one is succeeded now. So similarly, you can try phase two, because right now if you go here, you can see phase one is done, phase two is down. So you need to bounce your phase two, IPsec, SA, tunnel, and just tunnel name. So this is your tunnel name, and it's done. So if you go back, if you refresh, it will become green. Okay, so your tunnel is up, and if you come back here, if you refresh, it will also show you green. Okay, so this is how we onboard service connection by using Palo Alto Web UI of Prisma Access, right? And in the next video, we will see how to onboard remote access, I mean remote network, right? And then we will do some testing. We'll define the policies for remote users, and we'll see whether our traffic flow is working properly or not, right? So these are the things. And before closing this lecture, we do have this advanced setting options available here at top right, just next to this push configuration. So when you click advanced settings, it will give you option for, selecting your routing type. It's hot potato or normal one, okay? Or if you wanna, oh, I just exited the page. Let me reload. Yeah. So if you wanna, select the hot potatoing routing, you wanna define your traffic steering policies, all these things you can do in advanced settings. So when you refresh this web portal, it takes time. It takes time to get loaded properly. There are multiple scripts which gets loaded in your browser. Okay. So it takes time. So just make sure that let it load properly, okay, and then only you do changes, because right now you can see that screen is not moving anywhere. I'm doing the clicks, but that is not moving. And whenever you are doing onboarding process, you need to make sure that you're giving enough time, like 30 to 40 minutes. Okay. So now you can see your tunnel is okay, config is okay. And if I will click on advanced settings, so you will be able to see your BGP routing options, default hot potato routing, right? And outbound routes for the service, backbone routing, right? And traffic steering options. So all of this we have already covered in our initial lectures. So right now I'm not going to touch anything. I'll keep it very simple. Okay. And that's it. I'm closing this lecture. In the next lecture, we will onboard our remote network.